Hello students, here's the next video on the chapter Indigo from the book Flamingo of class 12. It is an excerpt of the book The Life of Mahatma written by Louis Fisher where he narrates Gandhi's struggle at Champaran for the poor peasants. Now let's have a brief account of the author Louis Fisher. Louis Fisher, the son of a fish peddler, was born in Philadelphia on 29 February 1896. His parents were Orthodox Jews. He worked as a school teacher, lecturer, a political historian, and an American journalist. He wrote the biography of Lenin as well as one of Mahatma Gandhi. In 1950, he produced a memorable single volume biography of Gandhi, The Life of Mahatma Gandhi, which won the 1965 National Book Award in History and Biography for him. Indigo chapter is an excerpt from the book The Life of Mahatma written by Louis Fisher. In this chapter, it is described how Mahatma Gandhi struggled for the underprivileged peasants of Champaran, who lived a wretched life under the British landlords. Gandhi decided to fight against the injustice which lasted for about a year. It helped the peasants to become courageous and aware of their rights. He also took up social issues like education, health, and self confidence. Thus, this chapter involves three big issues resolved by Gandhiji during his visit to Champaran, that is, self reliance, Indian independence, and helping indigo sharecroppers. It also describes how his visit to Champaran was a turning point in his own life and how Gandhi became popular as Mahatma. The author in this chapter describes Gandhi's struggle for the poor peasants of Champaran, who were the sharecroppers with the British planters and were forced to grow indigo according to an agreement. These peasants produced indigo on 15% of their land area and had to give it as rent to the landlords. When Germans began to produce synthetic indigo, it mitigated the requirement of indigo for British planters. In order to release the farmers from an old agreement, the British landlords demanded compensation from them. The peasants suffered a great injustice due to the landlord system in Bihar. Gandhi waged a war for about a year against the atrocities and brought justice to the poor peasants. Indigo is one of many episodes of Gandhi's long political struggle. It describes the Champaran visit of Mahatma Gandhi, which was undertaken very casually on the entreaty of a poor peasant, Rajkumar Shukla, and it occupied almost a year of Gandhi's life. The main theme covered in this chapter is how an effective leadership can overcome any problem. The leadership shown by Mahatma Gandhi to secure justice for oppressed peasants through convincing argumentation and negotiation is a main theme of this chapter. The incident also involves various sub themes like helping sharecroppers, India's independence, and self reliance. It also revolves around the contributions made by anonymous Indians to the freedom movement. Let's have a look at the characters of the story. Rajkumar Shukla, a poor sharecropper and a victim of British landlords. He is troubled by the sharecropping system. He was illiterate, poor, but resolute. He never left Gandhiji's side until he agreed to visit Champaran. Charles Freer Andrews, also known as C.F. Andrews, he was an English pacifist and a devoted follower of Gandhiji. He was ready to stay at Champaran and help Gandhiji in his motive, but Gandhiji opposed it. Edward Gate, Lieutenant Governor of the province, he ordered to drop the case against Gandhiji. Later, as a result of his meetings with Gandhi, an inquiry commission was set up to find out the problems. Kasturba Gandhi. He was a wife of Gandhiji and helped him in his course. Devdas, the youngest son of Gandhiji, who volunteered to teach the students, young children at Champaran villages. We are also aware of Rajendra Prasad. He was a lawyer who later became the president of Indian National Congress and also of India. The story is based on an interview of Mahatma Gandhi by Louis Fisher. He met Gandhi at his ashram in Sevagram back in 1942, where Gandhiji narrated the account of his rebellion and how it initiated the departure of the British from India. He recalled his meeting with Rajkumar Shukla, a poor and illiterate but resolute sharecropper, and his visit to Champaran in 1917 on his insist. He had come to see him to seek his help when Gandhi was at Lucknow attending the annual meeting of Indian National Congress in 1916. Though denied, Shukla kept following Gandhiji everywhere, and that's where Gandhi was impressed by his dedication and perseverance. Gandhiji was to be in Calcutta on a certain date, so he asked Shukla to take him along to Champaran from Calcutta. Together, they boarded a train to Patna, from where they went to lawyer Rajendra Prasad's house. Rajendra Prasad was out of town, and his servant didn't allow Gandhiji to draw water from the well, thinking him to be an untouchable too. So Gandhiji first decided to go to Muzaffarpur in order to get a complete knowledge of the situation. There, he was received by Professor J.B. Kripalani of Arts College at the railway station. Gandhiji stayed at the house of Professor Malkani for 2 days. It was really extraordinary thing for Professor Malkani to harbor Gandhiji because in smaller localities, people were afraid to show sympathy for the advocates of home rule. He also met some other lawyers who were already handling cases of sharecroppers. As soon as Gandhiji reached Champaran, people went to see him. The lawyers told Gandhiji that they represented peasant groups in the court and also told them about the size of their fee. Gandhiji scolded the lawyers for collecting such a big fee and told them it's no use taking their cases to the law courts. The chief commercial crop in Champaran was indigo. The British landlords compelled all tenants to plant 15% of their holdings with indigo and surrender the entire indigo harvest as the rent. Meanwhile, when Germany developed synthetic indigo, the landlords asked the peasant to pay them compensation for being released from the agreement. Gandhiji, in order to help the sharecroppers, visited a British Landlord Association where his plea was turned down, he being an outsider. Gandhiji, though subdued, was not hopeless. So he went to the commissioner of Tirhut division where he was threatened to leave Tirhut instantly. Instead of returning back, he went to Motihari. Here he started gathering complete information about the indigo contract. At Motihari again, Gandhiji got an official notice to quit Champaran. Gandhiji signed a receipt for the order, but he wrote on the back that he would disobey the order, which led to a case against him. Many lawyers who came to advise him joined a struggle later when he stressed. They even consented to go to jail in order to help the poor peasants. On the day of trial, a large crowd gathered near the court, and it became really impossible for the British officers to handle them all by themselves. So, Gandhiji helped the officers to control the crowd. He gave his statement that he was not a lawbreaker, but he disobeyed so that he could help the poor peasants. Later, he was granted bail and the case against him was dropped. When Lieutenant Governor ordered the case to be dropped against Gandhiji, it proved to be the first victory of civil disobedience in modern India. In June, Gandhiji was summoned by Sir Edward Gate. They had four protracted meetings, as a result of which an inquiry commission was set up. The inquiry brought crushing mountain of evidences against the big planters. Gandhiji asked for 50% refund, but the planters wanted to pay only 25%. Gandhiji agreed even to that because he wanted to free the sharecroppers from the binding of the indigo contract and make them fearless. Gandhiji was greatly moved by the cultural and social backwardness of the Champaran villages and appealed to his disciples to volunteer their services. Primary schools were opened in 6 villages. Kasturbai taught the ashram rules on personal cleanliness and community sanitation. Volunteers like Mahadev Desai, Narhari Parekh, and his son Devdas taught them. Later on, with the help of a volunteer doctor, he provided medical facility to the natives of Champaran, thus making their life a bit better. A peacemaker, Andrews, wanted to volunteer at Champaran Ashram, but Gandhiji refused as he wanted Indians to rely on themselves. Gandhiji told a writer that it was Champaran's incident that made him think that he did not need the Britishers' advice while he was in his own country. Now let's have a look at the message of this chapter. The story Indigo highlights the unequal economic system that existed during colonial British rule. It resulted in Indian peasants suffering while the British planters exploited them. It also highlights the importance of Gandhi's decision to take up their case, which exposed the unjust system. The main theme of this chapter is how effective leadership can overcome any problem, as shown by Mahatma Gandhi in securing justice for the oppressed in Champaran through convincing arguments and negotiations. Also, it is not impossible to conquer and win over the potent if the people get together and fight against injustice. No power in the world can stop from achieving what they can desire. Now, few important questions from the chapter are: justify the title of the chapter Indigo. What was the conflict of duties Gandhiji found himself caught in? Why did Gandhiji agree to a settlement of 25% refund to the farmers? And how did it influence the peasant landlord relationship in Champaran? What were the terms of the Indigo contract between Indian farmers and the British landlords? I hope you all liked the video. Thank you.